You have a new project coming out.
Yeah.
About the Bay Area.
Yeah,
which
man.
is where I'm from.
That's where you from
That's
up
where
top.
I'm from. And it's a crime series.
Yeah.
And you're working with E40 and Too Short.
My guys.
Is Lil D involved in this?
Nah, he's not. I mean, obviously, everybody who knows Lil D's story is
Yeah, we're supposed to interview him actually.
yeah, phenomenal story.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I do a lot of projects and even have acquired the right to some real cats from, like, you know, if you know anything about the Chambers brothers, and one of the guys kind of first franchise crack houses, and you know, I've been, you know, just associated with everybody from Pee Wee Kirkland to just
I interviewed him.
Yeah, like guys who have these phenomenal drug tales that have started as early as the 60s or the 70s, specifically more in the 80s during the crack epidemics. You know, I was working with Freeway Rick for a while.
Interviewed him too.
Still want to do his story. I feel like his story is
Isn't Snowfall kind of his story?
Snowfall's kind of his story, but his story is, I don't know where they're going to go with Snowfall, but the more compelling part of Freeway's story is once he got to prison, taught himself how to read, then found out the whole Contra, Oliver North, all of these people that was associated to where he was used as a pawn in this COINTELPRO scheme to destroy the black community. Like, that to me is the story that, you know, really needs to be told. Like, oh yeah, a kid who plays tennis and becomes the biggest drug dealer in the world. That sounds kind of exciting, but that's not the real story to me. But to go back to Lil D and even a lot of other fixtures up in the Bay Area, what people don't understand is that they call Oakland the city of dope for a reason. They call just the whole Bay Area the Yay area, Frisco, like all of the
that's the name of the series, right?
The Yay area, yeah. The type of drug trafficking that goes on in Northern California, it's the second most in the entire United States of ports of how much drugs and contraband go through this area, and people don't really know that.
Miami, Chicago?
Yeah, I think it was Miami. I think, but just because, and then straight from Mexico, because even, you know, me growing up in San Diego, that was a big port too. But like the crack epidemic, as we know, started in Oakland with COINTELPRO. Like, people don't know the idea that to defeat the Black Panthers, the FBI implanted drugs and disease in Oakland. Like, it's proven and like it's documented that they were so afraid and looked at the Black Panther Party as a terrorist group that they poisoned the community because these people were too powerful, and they had fears that these people could, if they all really rallied and inspired the entire nation, that they could overthrow the government. This is where the crack epidemic started. And that idea of putting cocaine and empowering certain people in the community to destroy the rest of the community. So I want to go that deep and start at the root of that, but then tell fictitious stories of how even today that there's people in law enforcement that, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want people to think like I'm telling the story. It's not Power. It's not Snowfall. This is really, when I say it's a crime series, it's talking about the criminal justice system. Like, I'm currently in school studying criminology to talk about, really, and criminology is just the study of the black man and how he has been criminalized over from slavery to today. That's all it is. And anything outside of that is sociology. So that hasn't been dealt with in a television series at all. Now, of course, I'm gonna give you the bells and whistles. I'm gonna give you the swag and the sauce of the Yay area. You got
Right.
40 gonna be spitting them isms. We gonna see how Short is a fixture and how, like, the characters and just the culture of the Bay Area is so rich and has never been told properly in a story form. I'm excited to do that, but the crux of the story is how law enforcement is so deeply involved and intertwined with all of the crime and the drug trafficking that goes on in Northern California, tied to Silicon Valley. Like, San Francisco is the most expensive and richest city in our country. And it has one of the most violent and corrupt systems that we have.
Oh yeah, my ex, she grew up in Sunnydale Projects,
right,
in San Francisco, which
real.
Yeah, and she used to tell me how the cops in that area aren't like regular cops.
Yeah,
they're hanging out. They're playing dice with
Exactly.
the drug dealers.
Yeah.
There is a certain level of, I'm going to let this happen, but I need this money in return, and you're not going to get.
And even because there's no Bloods and Crips in the Yay.
Exactly.
But there's still groups and neighborhoods and even outside of the black community, from the Asian community who run a lot of shit to the Mexican community to even there's the white gangs and the biker gang. Like, it's real up there.
Yo, the Hell's Angels started in Oakland.
We touching all of that. You know what I mean? And that's why, to me, I wanted to tell the story of the Bay. You know what I mean? And that has yet to be done. And that's why we liken it to The Sopranos or The Wire, because either the beauty of like those shows, they gave you different perspectives of a certain region or area, to where like The Wire, one day they talking about the docks, one day they talking about the news reporting, one day they're talking about the political system.
They tie it all together.
Yeah, so that's what we plan to do. But I feel like the Bay Area is even richer. I mean, you got Silicon Valley right there where billionaires are created daily. And guess what? A lot of them have horrible drug problems. And guess where they go to get it? Right across the bridge. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that, to where once we dig deep, I'm trying to do something that's classic and phenomenal. And like the hip hop is the foundation of the story, but it's not the main story.
I can't wait, because I'll be honest, I've said this before, is that Snowfall is my favorite show on television right now.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, John Singleton did his thing.
Yeah,
It almost is a prequel, because I interviewed one of the guys from the show, and it's almost like a prequel to Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
It's just so well done. And I said Power's cool, but Snowfall, that's my favorite.
And that's the thing,
show.
like, I don't want the Yay area to be grouped into these are those black drug, like I'm making CSI. You know what I mean? I'm making a show that deals with a community.
Well, that's why I like Snowfall. I don't know. Do you watch Snowfall?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Okay, but if you watch it, one of the main storylines is this white DEA agent who's moving all the major drugs. He's the major drug dealer in this whole situation. He works for the government.
Exactly.
He's the one that's killing off everybody and doing everything.
Facts.
Yeah, man.
Yep.